Okay, let me first start this video off by saying question everything that you see, that you hear, what you have been told ever since you were a child. Things that don't match up, things that don't make sense, things that just don't sound right. Pray about it, question it, because there definitely is a meaning for every single thing that we encounter in this life. I once heard it, and I've been hearing it over and over and over again, really over the last couple of years, is the world is a stage. And that everything in which we watch, we listen to, we do on a day-to-day basis, traditions in which we have carried on for centuries, all of these different practices have been put in place because the world is a stage. It's like life is a chessboard, and we know that the world itself, the earth, belongs to God and the fullness thereof, but we do know the God of this world is Satan. And he's very crafty, he's very cunning, very subliminal as well. And he's just been showing up and showing out in a way that I don't think our ancestors or our great-great-grandparents and or whatnot would ever believe how blatant that he is with a lot of the symbolism and the things in which he are putting out in front of our faces, but yet nobody's paying attention. Everybody's asleep. And if you talk about this type of stuff, people always want to come at you with, oh, you're doing too much. Oh, it's not that deep. You're looking a little bit too far into this. Like, those are the type of comments that come from sheep, that come from people who are asleep, that comes from people who don't do research, who get up and go to work and go out and fornicate and drink and do all of these other different type of things. But when you try to get them to open their eyes and drop some knowledge on them, they want to look at you like you got a tinfoil hat on your head. I mean, how much more has to happen in this world before people start believing that maybe there's some truth to some of the things in which these people have been trying to say over hundreds of years? But y'all don't hear me though. I just got done watching a Netflix series called YuYu Hakusho. And let me stand back a little bit. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, y'all see that shirt there. So YuYu Hakusho, I'm an anime fan, by the way. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there. It's a show that came out in 1992, right? And Netflix took it upon themselves to take that show and make a live action out of it, okay? Anime fans, ecstatic. They're happy to see that one of their favorite shows is getting some recognition in front of the world. So I just finished watching it with my wife, and the Lord opened my eyes probably around episode 3. And I started really listening to some of the words in which some of the characters were saying, and they were like trigger words. I'm like, let me take my phone out and take some notes, because I'm probably going to end up making a video about this, okay? They took that show to give a message. Now, a lot of you out there, you watch movies just to watch them, and I want to encourage you to stop doing that. Stop wasting your time sitting up just watching movies just because. Watch them, listen to them, see what the message is, because a lot of the things that occur in this world, they're already on display. You see, the enemy is at a point now where he doesn't care. He's going to tell you what he wants to tell you, and he knows that some of us are just too dumb to even listen. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. Now, Netflix, let's talk about that for a second. Netflix has been like on a roll when it comes to just producing their own in-house series. So I was just thinking about the word Netflix, and we know Flix means, movies, but net. And some of you may know what that means as well. I'll just go ahead and read the first definition of it. A length of open meshed material made of twine, cord, rope, or something similar. And get this part right here, used typically for catching fish or other animals. Now, Netflix ain't trying to catch fish or animals. They're trying to catch your attention. They're trying to get you to sit down and be distracted, but all while still showing you some truth in your face, but yet you look at it as if it's just harmless entertainment. Why is everything harmless now? Why is everybody so doubtful of more than meets the eye? Like, why is there absolutely nothing to whatever it is we see? I've never seen a generation of people not take anything seriously. Nothing. And become so one-track minded with beliefs, with perspectives. And if you come at them with any type of other way of thinking, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's all a part of the enemy's one world government, or one way only. That's the direction that we're headed in. Some of you see it, some of you don't see it. I pray that you have your eyes open to see it, because it's right there in your face. It's just right there in your face. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So here is the one of the posters of YuYu Hakusho. And, the first thing that jumped out at me, I tried to find footage. I cannot find any footage of this show. It just came out December 14th, so maybe we may need a little bit of time, but there was some images and there was some scenes I really, really just wanted to show you all and talk about, because it just alarms went off in my mind when I saw some of this stuff. And I was like, I have to make a video about this. So let's talk about the first thing we see here, which is, the inverted image and the upward image here. We see this in so many different cultures, we'll say. We even see them on flags, like the Jewish flag, for instance. It's an inverted, it's a star, but it's inverted triangles up and down towards one another. And when we see things like this, images like this, it's telling us a story of as above, so below. Okay? As on the surface, as below the surface. This show really, really harped on merging two worlds between each other. That being the world that we live in, the natural world, the human world, as the show mentioned, and the spiritual world, or the demonic world, we'll say. There was a machine that some very, very rich individuals who all invested in, I'm talking like trillions of dollars that they invested in, to build this machine to basically break a hole into just air, to let these demons into the natural world. And at first they said that the hole was only big enough as your fist. And then they were like, hey, we need more money to make this hole bigger. So, of course, they pull strings to get more of these trillionaires together to basically finance this huge machine to do this. And I'm going to show everybody something that maybe you've already seen, or maybe you haven't seen it before, but it definitely brought the attention to something that I learned about a couple of years ago. But the image here of as above, so below is also popular with this show as well. So I'm sure we all know this show by now, right? Stranger Things. As you can see, the boys here, on the natural world. And then down here is, what do they call this world? The upside down world, the upside down. This other realm has been called so many different type of names. The underworld, the upside down, the demonic realm. It's real, people. It's real. And I truly believe that a lot of these shows and these movies are trying to tell you that there's more to this world than just the physical. Now, you can say whatever you want to say. You can call me crazy. I really don't care. But let me ask you this. Where do these producers get this knowledge from? Like, where do they get these ideas? They got to come from somewhere. And what makes them think that making this type of repetitive content over and over and over is a good idea? Like, why would they constantly want to make these different images of saying, hey, there's a world that's like this, but it's not like this. It's like the inverted of this. Okay. So, and here we have the Star of David. That's really no different. So you have the triangle here that goes upward, representing the upside. And then you have the triangle that goes downward, representing the downside. And how about this one? I'm sure we've all seen this before. The Baphomet. You see it has one hand up with the moon that's unlit, as above, so below, with the moon that's darkened. Now, again, some of you, that's a hideous image, by the way. Oh, gosh, you got to try to get that out of your head. And here next to the Baphomet, you got George Washington basically doing the same exact thing as Baphomet here. As above, so below. Make it make sense. Like, why do we see this so often if there was nothing to it? For all of you people out there who may say you're going too deep, this is for you all, okay? Because I get that all the time, especially being a YouTuber when I talk about things. I had a lot of people attack me over a reel that I made a week or so ago about a bobble-headed dancing Jesus in Barnes and Nobles, and there were tarot cards in there, which clearly is witchcraft. And of course, the enemy sends his minions to argue and say that it's not witchcraft. And I'm like, okay, well, why get so defensive? But like I said, this stuff here is stuff that is not a coincidence, folks. It's not. And the more that people deny this, the more the enemy is just laughing. It's not hidden. Some people may think that this is new knowledge, but it's not new knowledge. As above, so below. You can just type it in for yourself. Images of as above, so below, and it's constantly in your face. Okay. So I told you all there was a machine on the YuYu Hakusho that all of the trillionaires and billionaires funded to try to merge the human realm with the demonic realm. And this machine here, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but it's located in CERN, Switzerland. And this machine here is doing the same exact thing as the machine in the YuYu Hakusho film. The same exact thing. It's a hydro collider is what this is called. Let's see if we can blow it up. Hydro collider. And it's supposed to move at the speed of, or faster than the speed of light. Now, in the YuYu Hakusho Netflix series, it showed in the city there was an image exactly like this, but it was a hole in the ground, right? Not like here, but it was a hole in the ground. And when you went down in that hole, all the way deep down in that hole was that machine that looked exactly like, the Hydro Collider here that you see here in CERN, Switzerland, okay? And when I was watching it, I'm like, this is exactly what this is exactly what was told to us, like all the way back in like 2017, 2018. Now, talks about CERN is not something that is discussed every single day. You know what I mean? And it just makes me wonder, like, what the heck are they doing down there? Like, why do they have to invest all of this money to try to create some sort of a black hole in Switzerland? You know what I mean? And again, this is just one of those type of things that makes me scratch my head. I'm like, why isn't anybody talking about this type of stuff? And why is it anytime somebody brings this stuff up, it just completely gets dismissed? And then you have shows like Netflix that are basically showing you, hey, this is what we're really doing. And we tried to tell you this a couple of years ago, but you still didn't want to listen. And I told my wife, I'm like, that it's a wonder why we see so much strange behavior going on in this world. Like, is it just me, or do you feel like people are just becoming more stranger, more weak, more just heartless? People are just becoming more about themselves and vicious as well. Very, very violent, very short-tempered people that I've just noticed, really within the last couple of years. And, I gotta pull this up as well. Of course, Ephesians 6:12. This is one of my favorite verses, and the reason that it's one of my favorite verses is because it always puts things in perspective and reminds me that it's not a human thing. It's all spiritual. And until people accept this, they will always be in the dark. Ephesians 6:12, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. So 100% there is spiritual warfare going on in this world. But it does make me wonder and ponder, like, why they put this stuff in entertainment so much. Like, why do they focus so much on another realm and merging that realm with this realm here? Like, why is that a focal point? But, a lot of people will just brush it off and say, well, it's just a TV series, Brother D. It's just a movie. It's just art. That's the funny one right there. It's just art. It's the world is a stage, folks. Let's remember that. It's a stage. And any and everything that's wrong with this world is being told to us in our face. It's being shown in our movies. It's being shown on TV series. We hear it in the music. But, my own personal belief is that people are just, their minds are so corroded. They're so tired from working so much that they don't really have the energy to do their due diligence and to do their research. So they just believe whatever CNN tells them or Fox tells them. And a lot of people, most people have not been taught to be skeptical towards the things in which they indulge in every day. I still sit here wondering, like, how can people listen to, secular hip hop music when the message is so violent and it's so degrading and it's poisoning our communities? I don't understand how people can just sit there and listen to that. Like, I don't know. But I also sit and I wonder, like, okay, maybe it's a deeper than we think. Because I remember when I was in the world and I listened to it, and now that I'm born again in Christ, I look back on it and I can't believe that I filled my mind with all of that stuff, that I filled my spirit with all of that stuff. And, glory be to God that he pulled me out of it, of course, and gave me eyes to see and ears to hear. Now, I feel like with everything, like I said in the beginning of this video, you need to be having your eyes open. You need to be having your ears open with these TV shows, with these movies that you go watch, and stop just being entertained. Stop the entertainment. In fact, let's just go ahead and look at the word entertainment. You know, the first definition, amusement or diversion provided especially by performers. That word right there, if that doesn't wake you up as far as what entertainment is, then you're just all the way too deep, my friend. And you need to call on the Lord to wake you up and to take those scales off your eyes. Check out these synonyms here: amusement, distraction, diversion. Diversion and distractions. From what? What is entertainment designed to distract you from? What is entertainment designed to become a diversion to? You see it for yourself. These are the definitions, the synonyms for entertainment. And this is what most people, when they watch movies and they watch TV shows and listen to music, they're just looking to be entertained. And they're not trying to be educated. They're not looking deep into the origins of what it is they're looking at. You see, my personal belief is that a lot of these producers and directors of these $1 million films, when you got that much money, the devil is somewhere in there lurking. Trust me. His hands are in that money at somewhere in some point. And since that's the case, you know, that foreknowledge in which these individuals have is coming from somewhere. You know, I highly doubt that a lot of these directors and producers are just waking up in the morning and deciding that they just all want to create, you know, the same idea of making a movie that promotes as above, so below. Like they're all just in sync with their thoughts, right? Like this knowledge is not just coming to them by themselves. This constant merging of two worlds. This isn't anything new. They've made so many different movies and so many different shows of it. YuYu Hakusho is probably the last that I've seen because it just came out a week ago. And I'm surprised because it has absolutely nothing to do with the original anime that came out. They took it and they created a message with it. Now, here we are in the 2024. And I want to urge everybody out there to start doing some stuff, okay? I want you to start doing some detective work. When you watch your favorite show, okay, I want you to start opening your ears. Take some notes on things that just don't sound right. Like, listen to the lines. Listen to the perspectives that are being shown. Like, those scripts are written out to tell a story. And that story sometimes is a message to let you know what's potentially coming in the near future. I mean, a great example of this is The Simpsons. You know, The Simpsons they say The Simpsons has prophetic powers when that's not the truth. The truth is the producer and the director of The Simpsons is a 33-degree Mason, I believe. And if you know anything about that, then they're into some heavy occult rituals and probably have all different type of foreknowledge from demonic spirits that's telling them all of this different stuff to put into these shows and that people can watch it. And all of a sudden now people are starting to they're catching on, which is a good thing, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough people that are waking up to it because some people are still brushing it off as coincidental and they're brushing it off as just being just entertainment. Okay. So, but like I said, investigate what it is you're watching and don't look to be entertained. And I'm not saying that you can't watch anything or you can't listen to this, but at the same time, like turn your discernment on. Don't ever let that don't let that go. Don't turn that off. No matter what you do, keep your discernment on. Because I have a feeling that, when things do go down, I mean, nobody saw the pandemic coming, right? And a lot of people got affected by that. But if you were saved by the blood of the Lamb and you just trust in God, you already knew that, hey, I'm good. I have no problems. I'm going to be safe. Whatever next event happens, you won't be caught by surprise because your eyes are open and your ears are open and you have discernment. And the Bible says, blessed is he that has a sound mind. So don't fill your mind with corroded stuff. Don't fill your mind with a lot of violence and a lot of profanity. Just keep your mind on the Lord and he will definitely open your eyes to the things in which you need to see when you're watching these films, because they are most definitely telling us a story, and it's a true story, and a lot of it is going to come to pass. Now, are demons just going to start coming out of the ground or something like that tomorrow? Who am I to say no? Who am I to say that? I don't know, but I can tell you this. People have been acting very weird lately, and I do feel that the demonic spirits on this earth are really, really present, and they're acting through a lot of people who don't know God. Wickedness is at an all-time high. There's a lot of people who have no love in their heart. Matthew 24 says that in the last days, the hearts of men will wax cold and they're just going to stop caring. Just the love for children is barely hanging on. People love animals more than they love babies or children. I've always thought that was the weirdest phenomenon ever, for people to just completely give love. I'm not saying you can't love animals, but they treat dogs like they're babies and put them on the same tier as a human. That's wicked. That's demonic. Because the Bible says that man is made in the image of God. Dogs are not made in the image of God. They're animals. Animals. We're made in the image of God. They're animals. I know my dog lovers out there might not like that, but take it up with God, not me. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at him. Good luck with that. But people love their animals a lot more than people. And it just really makes me feel that Matthew 24, when it says that the hearts of men will wax cold, that's just definitely coming to pass. People just don't care or have any regards anymore for just human life. Murders happening so much, abortions happening at an alarming rate. There's a lot of wicked things going on in this world. And I just feel like the demonic activity, some portals have been opened. Some portals definitely have been opened, and so I believe some evil spirits, some unclean spirits, and some familiar spirits, I believe they're all here. They're here. Take it or leave it, like it or not. Now, I know that this video, I kind of feel like, I was trying to put this in a way that really made sense to everybody out there, and tried not to be all over the place, because this was very last minute. It is the end of the day, but I felt like if I didn't get this done tonight, it probably would not get done because of all the things I have to do on my schedule. So do what you will with it. Take from it what you will. Trash it if you feel like it's trash. I mean, I'm just somebody that's trying to get somebody to open their eyes out there, even if it's just one person, to see what it is I'm trying to tell you, and so that you, at the end of the day, can do your own research. Do not sit here and believe the person behind the camera. Okay? Although I have nothing to gain by lying to anybody. I have nothing to gain by sitting here pulling your chain. Got nothing to gain. Don't make a cent from YouTube. I'm just here trying to make people think and see things. See what Netflix and movies and music are all trying to tell you. All right, so that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all have a great New Year's out there. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, like this video, comment down below your thoughts on As Above, So Below, or if you know anything about CERN's Hadron Collider over in Switzerland, I would love for you to comment about that as well. And I usually don't endorse like films and stuff or a series, but if you want a better idea as to what I was talking about with the machine that was in the YuYu Hakusho live action film, check it out. It's only 5 episodes. You'll immediately, if you have eyes to see, you will see what it is I saw, and you will put 2 and 2 together. Okay, and don't forget about Stranger Things. Same exact message. Again, there's been many movies and many films, many shows that have been telling us this for years upon years, but people still don't understand it, and it's still going over their head. So, all right, everybody, love you all. God bless you. Peace.